There's a reason fighters talk about Ilia Topuria in a completely different tone than almost anyone else in the UFC. And it's not hype. It's not exaggeration. And it's definitely not a coincidence. When fighters describe him, they don't just say he's good. They don't just say he's dangerous. They pause, they think for a second, and then they use a word that says everything: scary. If he puts a hand on you like that, you're going down. It doesn't matter how or when. That's just the reality. That was a clean right hand, and honestly, no matter who you are, if one of those lands on your chin while you're stuck there, you're probably going down.
If he puts a hand on you like that, like, you're gonna go down. Like, I don't care how, that's just that. Like, I mean, that was a clean right hand, and I think no matter who you are, like, you let one of those land on your chin while you're caught there, you're probably going down.
Essentially, what he did on Saturday, you've got a superstar on your hands.
He looks like a guy who could be one of the all-time greats.
He called it from the absolute get-go, and he was right. 15-0, 13 stoppages. This man is sensational.
In MMA, that word means something very specific. It means the pressure doesn't start when the cage door closes, it starts in the build-up. It means every exchange feels like it could be your last. There's no safe phase, no comfortable range, and no moment where you can afford to switch off. Ilia Topuria has built that kind of aura fast. He's undefeated, calm under fire, technically sharp, and carries himself with a quiet confidence that instantly draws comparisons to a young Conor McGregor.
I'm not gonna knock him out.
And it's not that if I'm gonna win the belt, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna knock him out in the first round. They always used to be like this, but after the fight, you know what's happened. You wanna talk to me like the man to man? You said something about me. I went to your country, I slap your face, I get at the waist and grin. I walk like a king in your street.
Are you talking English?
And what you did? What you
Is that
did,
English?
Man? Yeah, of course I do.
Speak English for the people.
Shut up.
Not German or Spanish like you're from.
I'm talking in English, and fuck you in English. Y que te follen en español.
Not because of trash talk or theatrics, but because of belief. The belief that once he touches you clean, the fight is already over.
We see things and then we believe things and then we see it, right? Most people, they are like, oh, maybe, and I always tell him, like, it's already in our mind, so you're gonna be you are the world champion. That's it.
You feel fear while you're going into the ring, or at that point you're not?
When you are in backstage, you feel that.
You feel fear backstage.
Of course.
Adrenaline right here.
Of course you do. Everyone does it. Everyone.
How do you deal with it? How do you deal with it?
I use it like from a positive way. I use it from like, I don't know. The first thing that happens where you are in backstage, your mind used to take you to the octagon, and in reality you are in the backstage. And I'm like, listen, right now I'm with my people, wrapping my hands, warm up, I don't know, whatever I'm doing, but I'm not fighting with anyone. So don't worry about anything. Just save that energy, because you are going to need that concentration, that focus inside the octagon.
Joe Rogan has talked about this many times, especially when breaking down how Ilia Topuria handles pressure. There's no panic in his game, no wasted movement, and no emotional decision-making. He stalks patiently, draws reactions, and when an opening appears, he explodes with terrifying precision. Rogan has pointed out that Topuria doesn't fight like someone trying to edge rounds. He fights like someone hunting a finish.
Yeah. Ilia Topuria, whatever, he's fucking tight.
He's dangerous.
He's tight. That shit's tight.
Everything is so sharp. His technique is flawless. Everything's flawless. His boxing is so dangerous. He's so dangerous everywhere. He's dangerous with submissions. He's dangerous with kicking. He's dangerous. His heart is dangerous. He fought this dude, Jai Herbert, and he went up to 155 for that fight. So he's a 45-pounder. And he said, fuck it, I'll take a fight at 55. He gets head kicked in the first round by Jai Herbert. Is a nasty stand-up fighter. He's so good. He's real slick. He's real good stand-up, like real sharp stand-up. And he caught Topuria with the perfect head kick. And Topuria, he's in real trouble. He got dropped. And he scrambled, got a hold of him. Next round, sent him into the dark lands. Blasted him against literally slept him, face planted him, and walk-off KO. He's an animal, dude. He's a real problem, because he's intelligent, he's dedicated, He's driven. He's got that kind of confidence that those championship guys have, where they know they're the best even before they're the best. He knew he was the best even before. He's literally fighting the best guy ever in that division. And he's telling everybody, I'm going to fuck this dude up inside of 2 rounds.
Who's he fighting next?
Good question. I don't know who he's fighting next.
That mindset alone separates him. Stylistically, Ilia Topuria is a nightmare matchup for almost anyone. His boxing is tight, compact, and powerful, built around timing rather than volume. He doesn't swing wildly or chase chaos. He waits, he reads, and when opponents start reacting defensively, he seamlessly shifts gears and brings in his grappling.
He just did textbook Ilia Topuria champion stuff, and he put Max Holloway out. He put him out cold, and we've not seen that before in the octagon.
This kid is going to be good for a really long time. He came here in 2020 as a grappler, and he is just knocking people out left and right, and every time he gets better.
Where his pressure, control, and finishing instincts are just as suffocating. That's what makes him so difficult to deal with. You can't relax on the feet. You can't stall on the ground. And you can't rely on him slowing down as the fight goes on. Fighters who've shared the cage with Ilia Topuria describe the same feeling. Even when he's not throwing, he's forcing reactions. Even when he looks patient, he's quietly closing exits and tightening the space. The pressure never fully disappears. Charles Oliveira has openly acknowledged how dangerous Topuria is in exchanges, especially knowing that one clean shot can completely change a fight.
Sorry, Max, just one more.
Yeah,
I know you had good praise for Ilia there. Dana was in here. He said you are still the BMF champion, but Ilia's strutting around backstage with the UFC belt on one shoulder and his BMF one on the other. Just your thought on that.
I mean, it is what it is. It is. It wasn't, could you imagine Islam walking around with 2 belts after knocking out Volk? Let that sink in, you know? The belt was in a different weight class for a different reason. I think the fans make it happen. If the UFC really wanted to make it happen, they would have put it up, and I don't know why they didn't, but Dana said what he said, so he's the boss man, you know?
Ilia Topuria is as dangerous and as good as anyone in the world. Good as all these guys have looked, any of them would be a decent size underdog. He has just been an amazing fighter. He's undefeated. He's a world champion in 2 weight classes. He just knocked out Charles Oliveira. He knocked out Max Holloway, knocked out Alexander Volkanovski. He's just the best at this point, and he would be favored to beat them all. But I believe that the challengers are starting to line up for the great Ilia Topuria.
I think he's a great fighter. Yeah, I think everybody thinking like that. He just dropped a couple of legends. He's strong and his wrestling is good, striking amazing. So, but like I said, I'm only one right now in featherweight division who can stop him. So I have enough power and willing to stop this guy, and nothing except respect for this guy. All I need from him is his style.
Others have echoed the same sentiment, pointing out that Ilia Topuria doesn't need momentum handed to him, he creates it himself. What's even more telling is how fighters outside his division talk about him. Tom Aspinall has spoken about Topuria's discipline and mindset, highlighting how rare it is to see someone so technically polished while still carrying constant knockout intent.
Let's get Big Joe in, and we're going to talk about Ilia Topuria's style a little bit. So being a bit of a shorter guy, what he does really well, Ilia Topuria, is shorter arms. So with this fight, he's going to be looking to get inside. And the body hooks, the low kicks, and the shot in is what he's looking for. Because he's got like a low centre of gravity, especially, it says that Max Holloway is 5'11".
He's bigger than me, mate.
He's at least 6'1", from when I've seen him at least. He's a lot taller than 5'11". So with Ilia Topuria being the shorter guy, he'll be looking for the right hands over the top, the left hooks to the body, and the shot and trying to hold him down. I can absolutely believe that Ilia Topuria can win 3 belts. I think that Ilia Topuria can beat anybody around those weights, kind of lightweight, welterweight. Ilia, in my opinion, is almost unbeatable, right? Ilia Topuria is someone who has been around title contention for a long time, but going in there beating a great in the sport, Alexander the Great Volkanovski, a personal favourite of mine, someone who I know, someone I look up to. He went in there and took the belt from Volkanovski. The belt changed hands in February, and then he came back again against Max Holloway, knocked him out,
the guy who'd never even been dropped in the UFC before, with so many fights. So 2 legends he's beat there in a year. That is absolutely massive for the country of Spain, for the country of Georgia, for European MMA, for MMA and the UFC as a whole. New champion, new face, new name, Ilia Topuria at featherweight, making all kinds of waves in the division and across the UFC. Like, this guy, what he's going to do in 2025 is likely going to be even bigger than what he did in 2024, and a new guy in the featherweight division.
Paddy Pimblett has also acknowledged the danger, noting that Ilia Topuria's confidence feels earned, not forced, and that makes him even more unsettling to prepare for. Analysts like Daniel Cormier and Michael Bisping have both pointed out that what truly separates Topuria isn't just talent, it's control. He dictates where the fight takes place, how fast it moves, and when the violence actually begins. And that's why this moment in his career feels especially dangerous. Topuria is entering his prime, carrying championship expectations, global attention, and the kind of personal pressure that either breaks fighters or sharpens them into something far more lethal.
Duty stuff. Obviously, we knew that he was going through some personal issues, and there's rumors online, and I didn't want to partake in any of those. I had not heard any of this. I had not heard any of these allegations or rumors, innuendo, any of that. And so you can understand even more so why he would want to step away and not focus on fighting or defending his title, because obviously there's a lot going on. It's extremely sad. It's I feel for everyone involved. I feel for his family. I feel for his kids. It's an awful situation. And so let's see what happens. Let's see what becomes of it. And let's see when we can see him back in there. As of now, there's no real timeline set in place. He spoke to ESPN Deportes about that, about his decision to walk away. Here's what he had to say, and I'll read the subtitles for you in case you're just listening to the audio. Finally, Ilia, because what the public wants to know, you announced not the first quarter, that you'll fight in January. When would you like to fight? When you feel it's time to return? Well, Ilia says, as I've communicated, I'm going through some personal problems. I do not have an exact date when everything will be fixed. I hope that as soon as possible, as soon as it is solved, I will be ready to go back.
Ilia Topuria isn't just another undefeated star climbing the rankings. He's a problem the UFC is still figuring out how to handle. And as the spotlight grows brighter, fighters aren't asking whether he's the real deal anymore. They're asking who's brave enough to stand in front of him next.